All right. Hello, good afternoon. I see we have a couple viewers tuned in. My name is Chris, and here we are with Artist Palette Durham region. We're going to make a little succulent planter today. So I'll go over the supplies in a moment, and then we'll get to doing our little planting. Of course, you can watch this video anytime you want after we're done going live. The video will remain on our channel, on our page, Artist Palette Durham. So you don't have to do your actual planting along with me. You could watch and then do the planting on your own time. Maybe you need a few more supplies to complete the project. Yeah, let me know in the chat. Type in the chat where you guys are from. Yeah, I just like to see how far-reaching we get. And this is, even though this is live, you are able to set the cursor, the playback, back to the beginning, or if you miss something, you can just set it back. That's the lovely thing with this technology, YouTube Live. You can rewind. Now, you can't fast forward me, but we won't take very, very long. We're just planting after all, so less than an hour. Less than an hour for sure. Yeah, we've got more people tuning in. Awesome. Welcome. My name is Chris. That's short for Kristen, and I'm in London, Ontario. So I'm not actually in the Durham region myself, just a little bit southwest of that. All right, let's we can go over supplies. Let's go over supplies. So I have this big pot here. That's about, I would say, 8 inches across-ish, maybe 9. You can definitely do this on a bigger scale. I was looking around to see if I could find a pot with a hole in the bottom, because that's ideal. With succulents, you do want a good amount of drainage. I didn't find one that I liked with a hole in the bottom. Now, there are, you can drill into, what is this, like a porcelain? There are drill bits that you could drill into that carefully and put a drainage hole. But if you can't find that, or you can't make that hole into it, what we're going to do, we're going to put some rocks in the bottom, which will sort of help with drainage. It's not ideal. Ideally, you would want some rocks and a hole, but if you just water sparingly, carefully, and not overwater, your succulents will thrive. Succulents, they'd prefer to be underwatered than overwatered. You don't want their roots to get all, just oversaturated, like rotting. So it's better to let them dry out completely and then water them. They are, from deserty areas, dry, arid places. So they're used to going periods of time without water, like completely without. Okay, so that's my big pot. And then I have this little bitty pot. What would you say that is? 2.5, 3 inches across? So this will be my pot that I'll put sort of like at this angle, and then the succulents go there. So it's like, we're kind of going for like an arrangement of succulents sitting in a pot kind of thing. I mean, you could plant this normal with the succulents all like this, but I just kind of wanted to go for this cute little pot with things coming out of it like this. So maybe the succulents are like a flower arrangement coming out of this pot. So we'll plant this pot sideways. So this one, it doesn't really matter if you have a hole in it or not in the bottom, because it's not really doing the drainage portion. So this will go right here. So yeah, if you have like a bigger, big pot, and then, any size of this smaller pot, you can have different arrangements. What if instead of a terracotta pot like that, what if you want to do a teacup on its side with like a cool painted design on the teacup? That would be kind of cute. Or any kind of Maybe like at the dollar store, you can find something funky to be your plant's vessel. So that's what I have, big and small. I have these, oh, these are kind of like, I would say these are kind of like a lava kind of rock, but I've definitely used just cheap gravel in the bottom for drainage before. You don't have to pay a lot of money for rocks for the bottom layer, especially if it's not a clear pot. If it's a clear pot, maybe you might want to have kind of fancier rocks on the bottom, but these are all getting covered up. No one will see them. So just these lava rocks I had laying around, a nice layer on the bottom. And then I have, this is aquarium gravel. I often use aquarium gravel for plants. You can get different colors. I've got black here to contrast with my white pot. Any color. If you want to do like a purple background, that's fine. So yeah, these will be covering the soil around the arrangement, kind of like a background for our little arrangement here. So that's, yeah, fish aquarium gravel. Any colors you want to do. Over here I have Miracle Grow Cactus, Palm, and Succulent Potting Mix, Fast Draining Formula. Oh, it's got plant food in it. That's awesome. So you definitely want to use a potting soil geared towards succulents, cactus, succulents, not just regular potting soil. A lot of the like succulent marketed soils will have something called perlite in it. Yeah, it's just a different mix than, you know, your window box kind of potting soil. You definitely want something like this. Fast draining is the keywords there. So that's what I have. It looks like this. And they break it down, all the different ingredients and all the different percentages on the back here. But yeah, just keep your eye out for something specifically for succulents. It's usually right next to the regular potting soil in the store. You get all your different potting soils, and then right there next to it's usually the succulent type. And what else do I have? I have little plants here, and I've got some little plants over here. Let's move that. Move that away. I just dug these out of my garden just now. Things are starting to go dormant out there. So I have these guys. They started to turn a little bit pink. I don't know if the camera really picks up the pinkiness. When the weather gets cold, they start to turn a little bit pinkish. These are, I think they're related to sedum, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not a plant expert. I don't pretend to be a plant expert. I'm just telling you what I know. I think these are related to sedum. So these guys have little roots on them, little roots. This one was a piece that had broken off, and then it did start to root into the soil, so I grabbed that one too. Yeah, little cuttings that have fallen off and start to root. You can use those to plant. Those will survive. These are, I just kind of got them from my little hens and chick kind of pile outside. Like a Echeveria type succulent. Like a rosette. It reminds me of a flower, right? So that's, yeah. So we've got the pot, and then these will be kind of like the flower arrangement coming out of the pot. And then these guys, they've got some roots hanging off there. These are Haworthia variety. I want to say zebra plant because they look a little bit kind of spotty, stripy on the outside. Grabbed a couple of those with some little rooties. And then this little patch over here, this is kind of like a spreading, low-lying, I guess I could hold this up closer. I believe it's called, I want to say a stone crop. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you know more about plants than I do. Just a nice little spreader. I just grabbed a little bunch of that. That'll spread a lot, so I don't want a lot. And then I've got these hanging around. These have gotten a little unruly over the summer. You know, I forget the names of these, but I just like the texture of this kind of spiky guy And I might cut a little piece off this little vine. Don't want a lot of that one, but any kind of succulents that you want to include. They could be bigger than mine, smaller. There's so many different varieties out there, different colors. And you can play with different heights too. They don't all have to be low-lying stuff. You can have some taller stuff jutting out here and there. And then I just put this like piece of plastic down. So if like I get a bunch of dirt here, I could just kind of pick up this plastic and dump it in the garbage. But you can put down like a plastic tablecloth. That would work. I think that's all the supplies I have. So let's get our big pot and our little pot. Yeah, so you can plant along with me or just watch and plant on a different day when you have some supplies. So, oh, what am I doing? Guys, I'm doing it all wrong. We want to do rocks first. What am I doing? I did have the rocks in here earlier, but then I'm like, no, I should have them in a separate container. Already going wrong here. Okay. Rocks first. How silly. Okay, so I've got my little, that was a loud noise. Good layer there. Ideally, I would want a little bit more than that. A little bit more. It's a pretty decent layer. I might want it like half, but yeah, that's good for now. Then the soil. This makes more sense. There, lots of nice composted bits in here. Lots of nice organic, natural materials composted into here. Love it. And there's plant food in here too. Do I want more than that? Maybe a little bit more. A little bit more. Oh yeah, nice little fertilizer. Break up those clumpies. And then I've got my little 3-inch, 2.5. Make a little spot for that. So I want it kind of raised up. I don't know how I would it's not flush with the edge. It's a little raised up with the edge of this one. And I'm going to shove some soil in it. Shove it in. I might get a little more here. A little bit more. Yeah, I don't want this to be like full to the edge. I do want to have some rocks in here. I don't want my rocks, my black rocks kind of spilling out all over the place. So I've got the soil a little bit under the lip. Shove more in there. Ooh. Okay. I like to get sort of the bigger and taller plants in first. So I want to get some of this green guy. I'm going to just take this whole, will it come out in one piece, do you think? I'm pulling gently. Oh yeah. Got a little, I like to cut the roots with a serrated knife. So there's like sort of 2 plants here mashed together. I just want to separate them a little. Just want one. And then let's see how easily they come apart. I'm making a huge mess. Okay, so yeah, I like this guy. I just want one of these. A little spot for him. Stay there and I'll kind of build up around him. Go. Okay, huge mess, big mess. Stay there. There we go. All right, so I'm thinking this guy's kind of big. So I'm gonna like butt them up against each other and yeah, kind of keep it in this area. I want the black rocks to kind of be the background. Get that in there. That's my little Haworthia. You could have little clusters of things together. So like I might cluster these 3 little sedums together. Could look kind of cute as a cluster. Or you can have them sporadically. You don't have to cluster them. Clusters of 3 are nice to visually look at. So you'll see clusters of 3 of plants in arrangements, landscapes. Yeah, 3 is nice to look at. Maybe I'll have these guys right here. If any leaves fall off in the process, you can take that leaf and lay it on some soil, say in the windowsill, in a little bowl of soil, and then it'll root. Little baby plant will form, it'll root. So sometimes when I accidentally break off parts of my succulents, I'll just let them lay in the soil and root and make a new plant. It's adorable. Little cluster. And then let's get some of these Echeveria types in here. They don't have a very deep root, so I'm just sort of placing it on top of the soil and then just kind of lightly brushing some soil on top. Where am I going to go with you? Yeah, these came from outside, so they're all wet. It's been raining a lot here recently, and I was caught in the rain yesterday. I was drenched. My shoes had to go in the dryer. I was soaked. Where do I want to put this? Like a little bundle of 3. Okay, let's get some more of these guys in here. That's kind of cute in there. This little guy. Where will I put you? These guys will spread. Just tuck it in there. Yeah, if you want like smaller chunks, you can kind of rip it. As long as it's got some little rooties to grab a hold, tuck it in there. Sometimes if you need to like get into little teeny tiny areas, sometimes I use like a chopstick and just brush the dirt with my chopstick, or a paintbrush. Sometimes people use a paintbrush. Just tuck some of that in there. That'll grow. Tuck it in there. Okay, what do I have here? I've got this little vine. So messy. Let's get a little section, and I like to cut the roots a little bit. Separate it from the main plant. Nice little rooty ball. Let's see. Can I stuff you in here? I can stuff it inside the little clay pot a little bit, and then maybe this will kind of grow kind of down if I kind of coax it as it grows. That's kind of cute. What else could we add to this? String of pearls is a very cute succulent. It looks like a pearl necklace, like a green pearls. Would look cute, kind of cascading, and it could even sort of come down the edges a little bit. That's kind of cute. A little bit messy. I'm going to get my little mister bottle, which I've left on the counter. A little mist. I just want to clean this off a little. Clean off my edge a little. Now, watering succulents, I wouldn't recommend misting as the watering method. especially if we're indoors with this. You don't want the mist to rest on the leaves and potentially grow little molds, little rotting spots. So for watering the succulents themselves, it's more of a like a watering can type situation. I just use my, like, I have a drinking glass and I'm like, oh, here, have a little drink. But yeah, we really just water the succulents when it's like dry to the touch. So you can like kind of put your finger into the soil, and if it's like, you know, bone dry, that's a good time to water. But if it has a little moisture in the soil, don't water. They'll be fine. They're made for the desert. But I might just kind of clean off some of my dirty ones. Little dirty ones. A paintbrush to kind of dust off those dirty ones would work. And my little edge, a little bit dirty there. That's looking cute. I like the kind of purples in here, the little pink tips of these guys, but I don't think you can see how pink those tips really look. All right, here's my black gravel. Now, if you do need to add a little bit more soil in between some of these bits, I think I'm good. Add like little pinches of soil, but I think they're good. All right, that's nice and flat. Okay, I might, yeah. I'm just gonna load it in by handfuls so I can kind of control where it's going. So I don't cover up my plants with this aquarium gravel. Aquarium gravel. Yeah, I think a nice, like black makes a nice background. Maybe your pot is a dark pot and you want to do a lighter gravel, like a white gravel. Could look cute. Or colored. I think if I could choose any color for this, I would choose maybe like a purple to kind of play off of the purple of this. I guess if you have more of a gap between this pot and the edge of this pot, you can kind of tuck some rocks in there, but I don't really have much of a gap there, so I can't really get in there. And if you need to like sort of lift up some of the succulents and get some gravel kind of underneath, you can do that. And it helps them kind of face forward too. So I want these ones to be more upward facing, so I can just tuck some gravel underneath them. Stuff it right under there. Even this guy, lift him up a little. He's half buried. We don't want that. We want him to be showing. You could add other little ornaments. What if you have like a cute little, like a little ladybug figurine? You can add it. It would be super cute. A little butterfly ornament would be very cute. Now I don't think I'll put any gravel like in between the plants. I want the plants to kind of have room to spread out and grow a little bit. So I won't get out of there. Won't put gravel in between. A little bit more. Yeah, so I still have a bit of a lip where the rocks like spill out. I don't want that to happen. Is not a bad idea. Yeah, I like the contrast of the bright green with the darker green against the black. Pretty cute. There we go. Yeah, so you could try this with different containers, different little pots, something cute from the dollar store. Try something even bigger than this, maybe even a, so you know how pots sometimes have the little plate that goes underneath, that little terracotta plate? Get a deep one of those, a deep one, a nice big one, and you can make this, you know, not very tall, but wider. That will look really, really good. What else could you do this in? Oh, what if I'm thinking like for Thanksgiving, a cornucopia kind of, if you have like maybe a ceramic cornucopia type vessel, or even like a wicker or wooden cornucopia type shape thing, and then spilling out it is the succulents for Thanksgiving. And if it's like wicker or wood, it will eventually rot, but it'll look good for a number of years. And then you can replace it. So that's that planter. What else can I show you? I might show you some of my my cuttings that I've propagated over time in my window. Let's see what I got. Yeah, so all of these, they've kind of taken off this summer. These are all cuttings and like leaves that dropped off of other plants. And this is a bowl, and I put some dirt in it, and I just let them kind of become a little mini jungle. So I could take these out and add them to different arrangements, but they're just like kind of a tangled little mess. But it's super cute when you see a little, where can I find one? Can I find one? A leaf that has a baby on it. No, none of these ones have a baby on it. What about the other window? This one's gone kind of wild too. So these are in a teacup that my kid painted at one of those pottery places. And these guys had some babies sprouting up here. So I can take some of those out and add them. Oh, these are all brand new babies down here. Tiny babies. I could add these to this arrangement. I might, yeah, right in there maybe, in a little blank spot. Yeah, so this guy has some roots sprouting off of it. Can I tuff it right in here? Make a little hole. Just another different color in there. That's cute. A little water. Feel pretty dry. Yeah, so if you're gonna water this, if it's bone dry, mine is bone dry because the soil came right from the bag. Give it some water, just like that. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend the misting. We want the water to go to the roots, not just stay on the surface of the leaves. Right in there. Yeah, so the gravel in the bottom, so whatever excess water isn't absorbed by the roots, by the soil right here, it'll hang out at the bottom a little bit, and it'll get soaked up into the soil by the roots eventually. But ideally, you would want a hole in the bottom and then like a dish underneath kind of thing. Oh, I made a mess. I made a huge mess. Yeah, what questions you guys have? I could answer those for you as best as I can. Again, I'm not an expert at all. I'm like a succulent hobbyist, you might say. Just dabbling in planting. Oh gosh, big mess. Yeah, so yeah, I'll keep this indoors all winter, and then put it out in the summertime, and it'll really take off. So the example one from the event picture, that one's outside, and it got like a lot fuller over the summer because I took that photo back 3 months ago. So that example's outside. But I'll bring it in before the first real frost, of course. Yeah, any questions for me? Nothing in the chat, guys? We've got loads of other free YouTube live events coming up later this month, next month. Let me show you a couple free things that are coming up with me in October and November. So this one is coming up kind of soon. Halloween's around the corner. We're going to do this free on YouTube Live, right here on YouTube Live, Halloween Day. So in the afternoon, it's called Adventures of a Halloween Cat. Yeah, so grab your acrylic paint and a canvas or paper. Join me for this one free. Sunday, October 31st, right here on YouTube. And then I have, I don't think we have a date for this particular one yet, but it's going to be in November. I don't know if we've set up the date for that yet. A continuation of my Butts series. So free here on YouTube Live in November. Woodland Butts. So in the past, we've done safari butts, and we've also done barnyard butts. So if you missed those two butts tutorials, they are on our channel right now. You can watch them right after this and paint some butts, and then join me for this one free in November. I think it's just so funny. It's so funny. And you can also suggest upcoming, whether you want to see more of like different mediums. So planters, macrame, other activities, or if you want to suggest ideas for painting. So if you want to see a unicorn driving a car, if you want to see, I don't know, whatever you want to see us paint, whatever you're interested in, let us know. We love suggestions. Love them. Okay, let's see. Any Lady Jolena has sent me a crying, laughing, and a I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I'll probably turn this into a little mini. I could add some of these. I'll make a new little arrangement in here because I kind of decimated that one a little bit. Macrame. Yes, we are starting to offer macrame, some paid events on Zoom. So check out our website, artistpaletteDurham.com. And I believe we have macrame angels coming up. And we also have available macrame leaves. We just did a leaf event, so that's available in our recordings. You can purchase any of the past recordings on our website. And often we have sales, so people can load up when we have sales. I'm not seeing any more questions coming in. What else can I tell you about succulents? I just love them. I just love succulents. I have some succulents for years and years. Probably some of these are a decade old in like all my windowsills. Every little inch is covered up. All right. Well, yeah, I don't see any questions rolling in. I will leave you to your planting. So this video will be up immediately for rewatch forever and ever, whenever you want to watch it. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, and happy planting. I usually say happy painting. Happy planting in this case, and hope to see you in another YouTube Live or even on one of our Zoom events. We'd love to have you. Thanks so much, guys. Bye now.